This is Paul McGann, and you're listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast.
The tangents this week continue all the way to episode 186 of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. This just in, stuff has happened. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. So glad you could join us. Let's start off like we do every week by going on the virtual table and see who's joined us this week.
This is Brittany in Bethlehem.
This is Chrissy in Salt Lake City.
This is Holly from Wisconsin.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
We're all back together. Yay.
Yes we are.
And I would say we're back to our regular format, but not quite.
All the news.
We may
but that's
all
okay.
be here, but the format would be slightly off this week. So, but that is okay.
Yes, we will return you to your normally scheduled podcast next week.
Yes. Probably. As long as we all don't die during finales on Friday.
That's
true. Well, and also, I'm going to see Infinity War tomorrow night.
Well,
finally.
And Chrissy may be dead.
Brace yourself, dear girl.
I know. And honestly, I have managed to stay pretty much spoiler free. I know crazy stuff happens, but I knew crazy stuff was going to happen before it was even released. So,
yeah, but actually
seeing
it happen is a different thing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. So I'm gearing up, but yeah, I'm actually excited.
Just take tissues.
Mostly been to be in several months, and Anyway, let us proceed.
We'll proceed first with feedback. Just a little bit of feedback from Shalane. So she commented on our, not our last episode, but the episode before that when we did our, speaking of Infinity War, our Infinity War recap. So she said that she thinks the ending of Infinity War reminds her of the Art 1, which I think is a good comparison, actually. And then she said, also back in the day, non-musical films like Gone with the Wind and the Ten Commandments had intermissions.
That's right. Yes, they did.
That is true. Even Titanic at one point, when it was playing in the theaters, it had an intermission.
Yes.
I mean, how long
well,
the movie is?
And even the VHS, when it first came out,
was on two takes.
Two takes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can remember even where the break was. It's like right after the iceberg hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show you how much happens after they hit the iceberg.
Right?
Yes.
It goes by it goes by fast, but there's still like a whole lot.
Yeah.
In that.
So, and that was all of her comment. So, but thank you, Shalane, for leaving that comment.
As always, yes.
Yep. So, and as alluded at the beginning of the show, we are doing a news because we have been off format for so many weeks. News has gone by the wayside, so it's gotten a little piled up. So we're going to do a news-heavy show. But before we actually get into the pile of news, we want to do a quick review because Brittany, Holly, and I have all downloaded and have been playing the new Harry Potter mobile game, Hogwarts Mystery.
Yes.
So,
I'm in year 2 and just like the second chapter, I kind of got busy and been a little bit behind on gameplay.
Yeah, I'm year 2. I think I'm 9 chapters in. I think I'm on chapter 9, so about halfway, I think, through year 2. It's very choose your own adventure.
Yes.
That's the best way to describe it, is it's choose your own adventure. Everybody starts out the same, where you pick whether you want to be a witch or a wizard. pick your name, or you can use your own name. In my case, I used my actual first name and then a in-game picked last name. So, and then you go
for me, I picked a character name that I used to write for fanfic, so I'm just like, it works.
And I'm horrible at getting names, so I just use my actual name.
I'm just waiting for the friend option, so we gotta trade each other's character names if they decide to go that route.
Yeah. Well, I think you can change your name even after
you
that
can.
if you want to. So, and then you go. Everybody starts at Diagon Alley, picking up a wand. I think that's the only thing you really get is a wand.
Yep, and then you run into your first friend.
Yes, so you make a friend, and then you go to Hogwarts and you get sorted, and you can pick your sorting.
Yep.
So
yeah, I was kind of curious of how they were going to do that.
Yeah, so you get to pick which house you're going to be in.
I picked Ravenclaw because that's what they sorted me into on Pottermore.
I'm in Slytherin. That's my house.
Yep.
And then you as you play the game, more and more parts of Hogwarts you're allowed to actually go to. So like your first year, you only get to go to potions and charms and the Quidditch area for broom lessons with Madam Hooch.
Yes.
So, and then second year, you get to do Transfiguration.
Yes, with good old Professor McGonagall.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but there is a backstory. Your character apparently had an older brother who was at Hogwarts before you, and
was a little bit of a naughty boy.
And apparently was a troublemaker. Probably not anything too bad. Probably in the lines of like Fred and George, probably as far as troublemaker.
Yeah.
Yep.
But apparently there are these cursed vaults somewhere in Hogwarts, and your brother decided that he wanted to find them, and in the process supposedly went crazy and has disappeared, and everybody thinks that he ran off with you-know-who.
Yeah. And then we have a female version of Draco Malfoy to have to do this as well.
So, and depending on...
Good old Marula.
Yes. Now, is she in the same house as you, or is she a Slytherin for you guys as well?
Slytherin.
Okay.
She's Slytherin.
So you guys at least have the benefit that she's not in the same house as you. She's in the same house as
I was going to say, I'm thinking, ooh.
So I'm guessing my interactions are slightly different as far as insults are concerned because you're not in the same house as her.
Just slightly.
Yeah.
Probably.
She's still not very nice. She's mean and
it's like, and
obnoxious.
I'm like trying to like, I was trying to like be friends with her at first. I was like, this isn't working, is it?
Yeah.
You're trying to take the high road and it's like, yeah.
Yeah. So, but
no more Mrs. Nice Guy.
Yeah. But you go to classes and you learn different potions, you learn different charms, you learn Transfiguration, that sort of thing.
Yep.
That earns you house points. It also earns you gold and gems that you can use in the game. It also earns you like aptitude type points as well. So you have 3 different like aptitudes: courage, empathy, and knowledge. So when you
be careful, those buttons are tiny.
Yeah.
You accidentally say something to piss off Snape, you lose about 10 to 20 house points. Yeah, accidentally did that, meant to hit the top button. No, middle and oh crap! I'm gonna pay for this, aren't I?
The touch enter I'm sure it's just the way it was programmed, but yeah, it makes it really easy to push buttons you did not mean to, and when you have to trace your finger for wand movements, it can be very persnickety. Especially
when you're trying to stir potions.
Yes, that's probably one of the hardest ones.
Yeah.
So I have
the focus I'm getting really good at.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. So.
See, which is real because I'm usually kind of bad at timing stuff.
Yeah. I found it easier if you tap it when it's shrinking as opposed to growing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I usually let it cycle through a couple times, but it's shrinking down, not growing back out. That's just me. Oh.
And the only downside is I wish for the challenges it wouldn't have the 1 hour, 3 hour, 8 hour. I just wish it would be based on your energy, and then you need to get this many number of stars, but it's not on a time limit. That was one of the nice things about the Fantastic Beasts, is you just kept using till your energy was done, and then come back, earn stars, and go from there.
Yeah, there's definitely been a few times when I failed it because I fell asleep before. Like, oh shoot! I wake up like, oh shoot! I forgot to finish it.
Well, and it's not consistent. Like right now, I'm in potions class. I only need 1 star to pass, but I had the 1, 3, and 8 hour option to pick from.
Right.
So, which actually going with the longer time actually can earn you more points because you have time to get
stars,
bonus stars.
Yeah.
So,
I usually do.
It's
like
not the same for all of them, and some of them,
Mm-hmm.
once you start a task, you can't walk away to like go and find the secret energy.
Mm-hmm.
There's some tasks that once you're in them, it's like, no, you can't walk away. Walk away. Like I can walk from potions class, go see if Dobby is asleep in the hallway, and go get that energy point. So, but with others, you can't do that. So.
Yeah, nothing I don't really like, except I'm getting better at timing things, is the whole waiting 8 hours into the next story plot.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a game you want to play casually, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, well, I could get to a point where it's like, oh, I have 8 hours before I can do this next task, but it's time for me to go to work, then it'll pass by quickly. It's not that big a deal. But yeah,
but there are those times where like, I want to know the storyline. I want.
Yeah. Well, I'm in chapter 7, not 9.
Yeah, I'm at chapter 7 too. I think I'm like a little bit behind you.
Yeah. So. But you can make friends. There's 3 characters. Well, I've got 4 friends right now. 3 of them are, I'm assuming, original characters.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
Just for this game, and then now I've made friends with Bill Weasley.
Apparently very popular in... our first friend has a bit of a crush on, apparently.
Yeah.
At least mine.
Yeah. She's very Hermione Granger-esque, where she's very bookish.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ben is a scaredy cat. He's scared of everything.
Is he a Gryffindor for you?
Yes. He's like, I'm not a very good Gryffindor. I'm scared of everything. I'm not brave. I'm like, oh, poor Ben. And then Penny, who's supposed to be really good at potions, and then for me, she's a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, she's a Hufflepuff for me too.
And then Bill, obviously, is a Gryffindor, because all Weasleys are Gryffindors.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And then...
It's just how it is.
Yeah, to meet Tonks.
Yes, I can't wait for that one. Excited.
Yeah. And then there's 2 more people listed under my friendships that I think are original characters, so...
Yep, and might meet more people.
Yeah,
Who knows?
maybe.
Like, I think the game's only up to year 3.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of people saying that they've only gotten to, like, some point in year 3.
Yeah. Well, and there's still a lot of the Hogwarts teachers that we've not seen either.
Yeah.
So, like, I've encountered Dumbledore once.
Same.
So, and then you've got Flitwick in Charms class. You got Snape in Potions. Then you got McGonagall in Transfiguration. You got Madam Hooch for flying lessons. Hagrid, but he's just the groundskeeper at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I like how, like, at one point they were talking about Defense Against the Dark Arts, which we're not doing any classes for it, but they're, like, saying, like, oh, it feels like we haven't done anything. Learned anything.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious of who that professor is, because that's going to be someone we don't know.
Yeah. Well, at this point, the position's already been cursed, so we would have had a different professor every year anyway. So, if we'd taken Defense Against the Dark Arts in our first year, we would have had a completely different person in year 2.
When are we getting Defense Against Dark Arts?
I don't know. So. And I'm wondering if it's not starting in year 3, if we won't get a chance to pick other classes too.
Possible,
like they did in the books. So, not that I necessarily want to take divination, but
yeah.
I don't know, we kind of...
Professor Trelawney, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the waiting for your energy to refill can be kind of annoying. I've played other games that are like that too, and really you just kind of need to find the sweet spot of getting how much time you need to complete a task versus how much energy you have lined up, and that's just, that just takes some playing of the game and figuring out the quirks and the different things you can do. Like, as you are able to explore more of the castle, you find new spots where you can pick up energy points. So.
Yep.
Or sometimes if you complete a star, it'll give you an option of, like, do you want the shield? Do you want hearts? Do you want coins? Do you want books? Point. Do you want energy?
Yeah.
Energy, please.
Or if you level up, your energy automatically refills.
Yes. I love when, like, I level up, like, right as soon as I finish something. I'm like, cool, I can go straight away to something else.
Yes.
Or if it's, like, right in the middle, like, oh, I leveled up. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish that they made it slightly harder for you to spend those gems on refilling your energy. Because right now, if you deplete your energy, it gives you the option. You can spend so many gems, or you can wait. And more than once, I have hit the gems unintentionally because I got fat fingers, and it pops up on the screen before I realize it, and I've tapped it, and it automatically doesn't. It doesn't pop. It really needs to have another pop up saying, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
Because it does that when you're, like, going to buy, like, clothing for your avatar. It'll ask you if you want to complete the purchase, or if you just want to revert to what you already had. But it doesn't do that with buying more energy, which is kind of annoying.
Yes.
So, but
or especially if you're talking to Snape, there should be, are you sure you want to go through with this?
Yeah.
She has the fingers who lost 20 house points.
Yeah, well.
Like, oh crap, now am I going to have to explain things?
That when Madame Pomfrey sent me to go get those potion ingredients from Snape, and he asks if he looks like a house elf, I did say yes.
You did?
Yes.
What was the response? That was a chicken,
I don't remember.
And I said no.
He didn't dock me He didn't dock me points though, so.
That could be because you're Slytherin, but
yeah,
I don't know.
that may be because I'm in his house.
He did get he did believe me once. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, because even if you're in his house someday, he'll play favorites to a point, but he's still.
He's so mean to me. Like, he's actively trying to.
Well, I mean, one is Snape, and two, you kind of have to give him a little bit of leeway because where this takes place when it starts is right after Harry's parents are killed. So
Yeah.
he's probably still mourning.
Mm-hmm. And he could be testing you too to see how much of a backbone you have.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm sure he wants his, he wants the students to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
well, I remember one of the questions is like, who's in charge of the carrot creatures? And I accidentally went with Hagrid. I'm like, oh,
no, wait, that's not
it's
right.
Before, it's not during.
Yeah. It's like, wait, I gotta remember when this takes place.
Yep.
So, but it's fun. It's Hogwarts. It's Harry Potter. So
yes.
Yeah. There's flying lessons. You try to win the House Cup. I did, Slytherin did win the House Cup in my first year. So thanks to Dumbledore.
I won mine.
I won mine.
I'm
we were behind.
Second place? Yeah, second place right now.
Yeah, us too. So.
I'm 1 point behind Gryffindor, apparently.
Quick, do something.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
But I don't have any.
But it's fun. It gives us something to do to stay in the Harry Potter universe until Crimes of Grindelwald comes out in November. So
yes,
because at the rate we're going, unless there's a serious delay in them releasing the rest of the years, we could potentially finish it by the time Crimes of Grindelwald comes out. So
yeah, depending on.
No, it'd be interesting to see once you complete it though. Like, could you play it again and make different choices and see if you get a slightly different story, or once we complete it, that's it? Yeah.
It would be cool if we can follow a character after graduating.
Yeah, it's like
make choices of.
Can I become a professor at Hogwarts?
You'd get your version of Cursed Child.
Yeah.
Continuity.
Maybe. Who knows? So, but anyway, that's our review.
Who knows? Maybe they'll add the Harry Potter: The Lost Adventures to this one.
Yeah. I do like when you the game starts. It's got the Warner Brothers logo, but then it's also Portkey Games. Is one of the companies involved.
I was like, I know where you got that reference from before.
I understood that reference.
Exactly. It's like, I understood that reference. So. Anyway, so let's move on to our pile of news.
And what a pile it is.
Yes, first starting with some 10 o'clock news, unfortunately. So, Margot Kidder, who most of us know as Lois Lane opposite Christopher Reeve's Superman, has died at the age of 69.
Yeah, that news broke just today.
Yep.
So I'm recording on Monday, and I was so sad. And, 69 is not that old.
Yeah.
No.
Apparently she died in her sleep, at least according to her publicist. So, who knows if she had an underlying medical condition, maybe. It's been very... She didn't do a lot after Superman. I mean, she did, but it wasn't a very prolific career, and especially once she had some mental health issues. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, I think back in the 80s. So that affected her way of doing things, I think. But that's too bad. I know every now and then she would make the convention circuit every now and then, but she wasn't seen much, at least not that I'm aware of. So, but that is too bad. As for those of us that grew up with the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, if that was your first exposure to Superman, she was your first exposure to Lois Lane. So,
Yeah, I mean, those are great movies, and you watch them, and that's your Lois Lane, and I don't know. I'm really sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
that is too bad. And obviously, our thoughts and well wishes go out to her family and friends and all that. So. Let's move on to some convention news. Slightly happier news. So, Salt Lake, FanX.
Yep, FanX, we're getting Lucy Lawless.
Childhood memories.
And Kevin. Yep, Lucy Lawless and Kevin Sorbo. So if you were a fan of Xena, or even the times they crossed over,
yeah, so they did
I remember watching the animated movie that they did whenever that was back in the day. And
there was an animated movie?
Yes, it's Hercules and Xena. Yeah, and my little sister, Shalane did, but Allison, my other little sister, watched that so many times. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I could probably quote that. I'll quote that movie. And Hercules. Although I think Kevin Sorbo has been to Comic-Con, Salt Lake Comic-Con before, but we've never had Lucy Lawless, so this will be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Gen Con, which is coming around eventually, soon-ish. If you miss the announcements, event registration is open. So if there's anything that you want to get in on, do it now, because events do fill up quickly, some of them. And the vendor hall map is now live on the website, which is interactive, and it's huge, like always, but this gives you plenty of time to figure out your plan of attack if there's something you really want to buy, because there's always exclusives and limited edition things and things done on, you can only get them here first, otherwise you're gonna have to pre-order and wait for it, wait like everybody else. So, if there's a company that is coming out with something that you can get at Gen Con, you may want to look at the map, figure out what door which door you want to come in, and what route you need to take to get to where you need to go as quickly as possible, you and the 50,000 other people that will be there trying to buy stuff as well. So, for most other cons, you're like, oh, it's a map, whatever. You look at it, you're like, oh, well, the artists are here, the celebrity autographs are here, photo ops are there, and you're done with it. But with Gen Con, if you're planning on buying anything specific, you probably need to study the map and have a plan of attack. I don't do that because I don't buy anything. At least not, exclusive. But
I'm not gonna lie, I saw that map and I was like, oh my god, just looking at that map made my anxiety spike.
Yeah.
I know. I'm thinking of that room full of all those people. I'm like, I'm good.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's huge. It's just huge. It's kind of ridiculous. So, especially considering how it's, I think, bigger than when I first went 5 years ago and met Peter Davison, and I was in this crowd of people, and I thought it was ridiculous then. So it's even more ridiculous now, which is the early morning going and the crowd that builds up outside the doors waiting for them to open. If you're not a crowd person and there's something you really want to buy, you may need to take some Xanax or something, or take some friends or a small armada of people to give you a protective bubble. It's controlled chaos is what it is. So So there's that. And then in somewhat related convention news, and I know I shared this on our Facebook page already, but go check out the latest episode of the Indiana Toy and Comic Expo podcast. That was recorded at Krypton Comics over on Free Comic Book Day. So that was just a couple of weeks ago, for Saturday in May, Free Comic Book Day. I was there hanging out with Billy and some of the other crew and some artists and some fellow cosplayers, and we hung out and handed out free comics to the kids that came in and listened to music and that sort of fun stuff. And then they record a live podcast there talking about Avengers Infinity War. It's very spoiler heavy, so don't listen to it if you've not seen Infinity War yet. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm always happy to talk Marvel. So, yay. But that was fun. So you can go check that out. It's in iTunes and pretty much everywhere else you can find podcasts. So there is that. Moving on, in case you somehow missed it, the latest addition to the British royal family now officially has a name. So.
And I'm glad they clarified how we are to pronounce his name, because spelling it that way, I'm like, I still don't know what his name is.
Yeah, it's spelled the French way, but it's pronounced the American way. Thank you, Kate and William. They always like to do their own things. But yes, baby Cambridge number 3, who was born several weeks ago. His name is they named him Louis, not Louis, even though it looks like Louis. But it's Louis Arthur Charles. He will formerly known as His Royal Highness Prince Louis of Cambridge. So.
And he is a cutie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although Harry and Meghan are probably thanking Kate for having the baby several weeks before their wedding, because then the rest of the world were like, we're all
French,
on royal everything.
It is the French pronunciation, so that's not the Americanized pronunciation. To me, it sounds American though, because I think of Louis C.K., who's American. So, but even though his is spelled differently.
Isn't he from? He's from New Orleans, though, isn't he? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Maybe so.
Oh, there's definitely French.
I don't know. No. I have a friend. I have a friend that's named Louis. So, and he's definitely American. So he's he lives in Florida. So. That's why it's like, oh, that's American, but no, I guess technically that is French. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I'm sure that Harry and Meghan's wedding date was very scrutinized over when looking at the calendar. It's like, okay, Kate's due here, your cousin, she's getting married this time. We've got all these events, in June even though the Queen's actual birthday is already occurred, but in June is when they actually celebrate it with all those festivities because the weather's better apparently. It's like, okay, blah, blah. I'm sure there's some sort of royal algorithm or something to figure it out. And they're like, May 19th. There you go. Which is this Saturday. I'm so excited. Speaking of royal news, in case you don't know, the royal wedding is a Saturday. Super excited.
Check your local listings for which channels will have coverage.
And you'll
BBC
have to be
up
at insane o'clock in the morning, those of us on this side of the pond. But
yeah, depending on what time zone you're in. So for me, it's a 5-hour time difference. They're getting married at noon, so...
okay, not too bad for you. It's 5 o'clock over here.
I'm guessing coverage will probably start about an hour or so beforehand. So yeah, I'm going to have to get about 6 a.m. So...
Well, I guess I say that's not too bad because I have an infant, and he wakes up at insane hours in the morning. So when he wakes up at 6, I'm like, okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Well, when he wakes you up, he'll be like, okay, well, let me turn on the royal wedding coverage. Thank you, Tiny.
I'll stream it somewhere. I'm sure it'll be available online.
It'll be on. I believe you'll be able to watch it. They are going to do live coverage on the BBC's YouTube channel.
Well, there you go. I'm covered.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch it later, I guess.
Yeah, that too.
Yay! What weekend walkers?
Yeah.
I believe the world runs on us, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I work the weekend a lot. Anyway.
Yeah, it'll be on the official, not BBC News, the BBC. So, but yeah, they are doing live coverage. I need to figure out what time they're starting. That'll make a difference. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I love all things royal.
I've heard a lot of people from the UK are like, why are Americans so into this? It's like, it's because they don't really affect us, and it's just kind of fun to watch.
Well, we don't have that here.
It's a novelty.
Yeah. It's like all y'all over there, you've got royals and castles and all that fun stuff. We don't have any of that here. Our castles are in Disney parks.
Yes.
Our castles aren't hundreds, if not thousands of years old. They're like 60 years old.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, we don't get any of that here. So, it's a novelty. Same reason historical
romance is so popular.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's a novel concept for us Americans. So.
Yes. But let us have our fun.
Yeah. I know it's England in the spring, but here's hoping for good weather on Saturday. So yes. Here's hoping everything goes smoothly. And I'm sure the bride will look fabulous.
Yeah, so. I've been seeing a lot of articles showing, here's some pictures from other royal weddings.
Yeah.
And those dresses are wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they're gorgeous to look at. I'm sure they're very uncomfortable. I'm like, I'm glad I had the wedding dress I did.
Yeah.
But they look beautiful, and I'm sure Meghan will as well.
Yep. All right. Moving on.
Oh, this one's interesting.
Yes, it is. So, well, Disney is seemingly trying to buy everything. In fact, Disney actually owned this particular property at one point. So,
and they let it slip through their fingers?
I don't know if it's necessarily that, or they just realized that it wasn't something they needed. So
they got Marvel and Star Wars instead, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Disney's okay with letting this property go back to its original owner, who will not be owning it anymore, apparently. So, because Haim Saban has, I guess, struck a deal with Hasbro to sell the Power Rangers for $522 million.
Whew.
Which, compared to what Disney has spent for stuff, that sounds like chump change, actually. Mm-hmm. But it will give Hasbro full control over the Power Rangers property, including entertainment, toys, games, and all other assets. They will now own all the characters, naming rights, past seasons and future seasons under the Power Rangers umbrella, and Haim will continue to work with Hasbro for the time being on an advisory role.
Well, that's good.
So that acquisition includes other remaining properties owned by Saban, including some stuff I have no idea what it is. So.
I was gonna say,
I don't know who Luna
what else do they own
is.
except the Power Rangers?
Yeah.
The only thing I ever know.
Yeah, they own a few smaller property things, but nothing as well known as Power Rangers. So don't feel bad if you've never heard of these things.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of a big deal because Hasbro owns. Andre of Black Nerd Comedy, he had a video about this, and he was just kind of speculating, which is what only thing anyone can do at this point is like what Hasbro could do, and maybe they get into the movies with it because they've done Transformers and My Little Pony and a couple other things that I can't remember now, but toys are going to be real awesome. He brought up the possibility of Nerf, and I just started thinking, I want a Nerf version of the Power Rangers mega weapon thing from Mighty Morphin, because, dude, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
When we were kids, my siblings and I, we had one of those that's like, it has the sword, the axe, the daggers, the bow, and the lance, and it comes together. It comes together and makes a giant. And we would put it all together and be Power Rangers, and it was kind of cool. And so I'm like, okay, I want one of those, but in Nerf. I mean, I have no guarantee that they're actually going to do this. I just want it because it's a possibility.
Yeah. Well, and it's not long after that news was announced. Somebody, I don't know who this person is, just some person on Twitter, mentioned with the Hasbro news, could we finally get a Power Ranger reunion film, maybe on a platform like Netflix? He said, because my generation has been asking Saban for years, which, duh. And he tagged several of the OG Power Rangers, and actually David Yost responded. He said, I'll be happy to develop and produce, and Amy Jo Johnson can direct. He's like, then he tweeted to Hasbro and Netflix. He said, let's talk. So, yes, please.
So cool.
There is interest. There is interest. Hasbro, make it happen.
Yeah. So when I see David at PopCon in a few weeks, I'll be like, I saw your tweet, please. Tell me who do I need to tweet to make this happen. Mm-hmm. So,
any news?
Yeah. So, unfortunately, we can't get a full OG cast reunion because the original Yellow Ranger is passed away. But beyond
still, getting something. You could even get Power Rangers from other seasons that have come and gone.
Yeah.
And maybe even the ones from the first movie.
Yeah.
Because
they're all still active on the con circuit and everything. Mm-hmm. So they speak to each other.
Oh yeah, they're all friends.
See each other. So yeah, I would totally be down for that. Sign me up, Netflix. Get on it. I'll help. I'll go fetch someone's coffee or something.
Yep. Speaking of Power Rangers, this is kind of related, but I don't know if any of you guys saw the video, the Shattered Grid promo with
for the
Jason
comic.
David Frank.
Yeah, for
the comic. I saw that and I'm just like, can we make a full-on movie series of this? Because, a lot of us kind of remember, Power Rangers kind of had that kind of campy, cheesy tone to it, which we all love.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It would be so cool to have a dark, gritty, or darker, grittier reboot, the way Marvel's done a lot of their stuff, or maybe not to the point of DC, but just something that's kind of like, because there's, and I've read some of the comics that they've done, and it kind of has a little more serious tone to it, but it's still, the same characters, and it's really, really good storytelling. So I'm like, why couldn't they do that in a movie or something? Or I don't know. But yeah, I saw that Shattered Grid video on YouTube, and it's like in an alternate timeline, if Tommy stayed evil and he it's like the Green Ranger and the White Ranger powers merged, and he became this
Lord Dagon.
Evil, this awful evil overlord, and he's created his own army of Power Rangers to do his evil bidding, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
kind of dark and depressing, but also very cool.
Yeah.
Ooh. And I'm like, I need to read this because it looks awesome.
Yeah. Can we talk about the fact that now the Power Rangers are now owned by the same company that owns My Little Pony? They also own Transformers, but I don't care about Transformers. My Little Pony. There's a crossover waiting to happen.
Ooh.
I'm sure there's fan art.
Probably. Well, they did have an episode of My Little Pony where they have superhero alter egos, so it can happen.
Well, everything on planet Earth has been ponified.
Yep,
ponified.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Yeah, your eyes are not deceiving you if you watched My Little Pony and you thought you saw characters from the Big Lebowski and Pony version.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing.
Yep. I remember the first one,
And yep, I just found first thing I searched, Mighty Morphin Power Ponies.
You.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh my.
Someone even made little figurines.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I love the internet. Sometimes it annoys me, but other times I'm through.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on to some Big Finish news. Actually, Chrissy, I think you were the one that shared this. I missed this and didn't see it.
Yes, I did. I was
Oh.
really excited to see this.
Yeah.
It's well, because I've been so I gotta get caught up with River Song or Diary of River Song, but Diary of River Song 5 will see multiple masters, which is big enough in and of itself.
Yes.
But it's witch masters they picked up for this thing. So Jeffrey Beavers, who has been playing the master for Big Finish, for like the classic Doctors, are going to be playing. Will be playing.
He's a screen version of the master.
Yes,
too.
he's a screen. Yeah, he's a screen version. Although I mean, it's obviously not Roger Delgado or Anthony Ainley because both of them have sadly passed.
Yeah.
But
he was Crispy Master, isn't he?
He was Crispy Master in Keeper of Trock, and I was like, it's the one that the boys just reviewed recently.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yeah, so he's there, but he's
it?
also played at Big Finish for like Light at the End and some of their others. But so they got Jeffrey Beavers. They also have Derek Jacobi. It was playing the War Master in a series for Big Finish.
Yeah.
Michelle Gomez, who is Missy, as we all know and love. And wonder of wonders, Big Finish got Eric Roberts to reprise his role as the master. As we remember, he was the master in a '96 TV movie,
which today actually is the anniversary of.
Yeah, he's the master takes over, and if you've been around Doctor Who fandom, or going to conventions and such, Eric Roberts is not the most approachable guy, or maybe I've heard tell he's gotten better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, although I've heard tell he's gotten better over the years, but he's going to be in Big Finish, and I saw that and I was just like, huh.
It's like
okay, So. And this is River Song, a Diary of River Song, and River is meeting all these masters in some capacity.
Yep.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yes. So there'll be 4 stories in it. They will. This one will be released in January 2019. So if you are a River Song fan, you would probably want to pick this up anyway, but
yeah.
Eric Roberts. How did they do that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And quick little tangent for housekeeping. The book for this month ties in with the master. It is the Missy Chronicles.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I finished, and man, it is a hoot.
Nice.
This
That's
be
what you'd
really
expect with anything with Missy.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna be really interesting. River Song and Missy.
Oh
my god!
Oh my gosh!
The sass, the snark.
Oh my goodness! That's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. And so, technically, this is not Michelle Gomez's first foray into Big Finish, but it is her first as Missy. So, because she has done Big Finish in the past, just not as Missy. So, and if you can't wait till January, I believe next month is the release of River Song 4, which sees River meet Tom Baker's doctor. So,
yes, so we
I
won't
think we listened to the first 3.
Yeah, it's sometime this summer, I think, is when it's released. So, because she's encountered other doctors, pretty much all the other doctors in Big Finish, but not Tom's yet. But that is due to be released in the next few months, and then River with the Master next year. So that's amazing. I can't decide what I'm more amazed at. The story and like snark potential between Missy and River, or just the fact that they got Eric Roberts. Either way, bravo, Big Finish.
That's the biggest
Bravo.
get there.
Good job, Big Finish.
You know what? Now that I think about it, if anyone could get Eric Roberts to come back to Doctor Who, it would have been Big Finish. So
yeah.
They did it. Here is your medal.
Because he doesn't have to dress for the occasion.
Briggs, you've done good.
Nicholas Briggs patted himself on the back there for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Good there. Oh my. So, moving on to TV. If you've been following social medias, all the TV networks have been renewing and axing TV shows left and right, because it's that time of year, and 99% of the time we don't care. So, that being said, though, Starz has renewed Outlander, not just for season 5, but also season 6. So it's been renewed for 2 more seasons.
Woohoo! I'm glad they didn't keep us waiting in suspense.
Yeah.
Nope.
Unlike ABC,
Yeah.
who literally has made us wait till the last week of the season. But thankfully today we got the very good news that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been renewed for season 6.
Well, I mean, the way the show's been going, maybe they wanted us to wonder, oh, maybe they really will just, kill them all or whatever they're going to do, so.
I don't know. So, that being said, there is a caveat with that. So,
Yes.
It has been renewed for another season, but it will be a shorter season, only 13 episodes. So,
Which usually means it's towards the end.
not necessarily, because they may be going the Netflix series storytelling route.
Which, if they do that would not be bad either.
I mean, obviously it won't be on Netflix, it'll still be on ABC, but they've been doing the Netflix series, being able to tell something in the MCU in a shorter span of episodes. So we were talking a little bit about this before we started recording, and if the finale is Friday, so as we're recording this, so we're not going to have to wait long to see how this is all going to play out. If it plays out the way that I think it's going to play out, and we're not going to get into Infinity War here, because Chrissy's finally going to go see it tomorrow, and she's stayed relatively spoiler-free, so we're going to keep it that way. But if it plays out, the finale plays out the way I think it's going to, then 13 seasons I think makes sense, especially if it doesn't come back in the fall, but if it comes back next spring and leads into Avengers 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because that gives them a good chunk of time, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has, if you've been watching the last 2-3 episodes, they have definitely tied it into Infinity War. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is happening the same time as the events in Infinity War. So if it comes back in the spring, between now and then, obviously some of it will depend on what they do storyline and how certain characters' fates may end up in the finale. So we'll see.
It gives them time to craft some good episodes.
Yes. Well, that too, but it gives them time to coordinate scripts with Avengers 4.
Yeah.
So that they continue that tie-in.
Guys, can we be in on some of the story meetings so we know what to do and what not to do?
Yes. Because there have been some people that have been saying, I've got some podcasts that are like, Marvel, their TV and movie divisions, they don't get along well, which I don't know where they're getting that from. It's not a matter of them not getting along. It's just a matter of TV and movie, and we've said this before, TV and movie productions run at a different pace. TV, they just finished filming this season within the last month or
turnarounds.
So. Yeah, so the turnaround's a lot shorter as opposed to movies where they start production a year or so in advance with scripting and storyboarding and all that fun stuff. So it's just timing-wise, it has not worked out to have a major crossover. There have been crossovers with the movies to the TV shows and vice versa. But there's not been a major crossover since Winter Soldier. So, because it's just not worked out timing-wise. But now they've gotten it to a point where they're able to cross again more heavily. And going forward, I think what we'll see with Season 6 is the fallout from Infinity War and what's going to happen to Coulson and crew post-Infinity War and how it gets fixed, along with how the fix is going to happen in Avengers 4. So, I hope. That's what I'm hoping. I'm very optimistic about things. Where it's like, they'll figure it out. I don't know how they're going to figure it out because I still have no idea. I have no idea how they're going to fix what happened in Infinity War. I know stuff will get fixed, but I don't know exactly how it's going to work. So I have ideas, and if you were in our Infinity War chat on Facebook, I posted this whole long thing the other day of just my the ramblings in my head of trying to in universe canonize how storylines played out on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. versus an Infinity War, and I'm making my head hurt.
I saw that one.
That's the thing. The more characters and the more movies and TV shows they have going, it gets really complicated as you go.
And then in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they introduced time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that just throws a whole... And I think there's going to be time travel involved in Avengers 4 as well. So, it's once you start... Even us dedicated Doctor Who fans who understand time travel... to a point.
Even then, we just kind of don't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
Just
kind of makes your
head hurts.
Yeah.
We know what that's like.
Yeah, it's time travel's can be kind of hard to wrap your head around, and then you start throwing things like a bootstrap paradox into it, and I was trying to explain the bootstrap paradox to Chauncey. And it's just like...
Yeah, ranks right up there with the Once Upon a Time family tree.
Yeah.
Don't think about that one too hard,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's good thing they don't. And it's even gotten worse. I was watching the latest episode of Once Upon a Time, and I'm like, I'm glad the show's ending after this year. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that next week.
I am so confused, but
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. But whatever. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back. That's all we need to care about. So, at this point, don't worry about anything else. Put your trust in Whedon and Feige and all them that they will figure it out. They've not let us down yet in 10 years of the MCU and 5 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, well...
I trust that they make me cry.
Well, yes. I mean, there's always that. Yeah. I'm gonna have Kleenex and my bottle of vodka handy come Friday night. So.
Mm-hmm. And if you hear any loud screaming in the general vicinity, yeah.
Yeah. Coming from any of our areas, come Friday. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had 2 double whammies back to back of each other.
Oh my god.
And definitely debating of staying up on Friday to watch this. Probably won't be too good Saturday morning, but...
Well, depending on how it ends, you may regret it.
Yeah. I have to call in sick. I can't go to work today because
I've got feels.
Show's emotionally destroyed me.
Feels.
That's a legitimate excuse, right?
Case of the feels. Works for me. I would let you off. Oh, bye. Then sticking with TV and things that Disney owns. If you were missing Clone Wars and Rebels, do not fret. We're getting another Star Wars animated TV series. This time, Star Wars Resistance.
Mm-hmm.
So it is going to be an animated adventure series about a young pilot. Caduza, I think.
Sure. Let's go with that.
We'll go with that.
It's a Star Wars name. Just it's that one.
Yes.
Yes.
A young pilot recruited by the Resistance and tasked with a top-secret mission to spy on the growing threat of the First Order. Premiered this fall on the Disney Channel, and then in the U.S., and then on Disney XD after. It will this is going to be set prior to Star Wars The Force Awakens, but it will include characters like BB-8, yay! Colorful new characters and appearances by Poe Dameron and Captain Phasma, who will be voiced by their respective real-life counterparts, Oscar Isaac and Gwendolyn Christie.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like there could be more cameo parts, but still, it sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Now, is this the one that Favreau has his hand
No.
in, or is that the live action one?
No, this is not Favreau's. This is going to be, run by the same guy that did the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, he's going to produce it. So,
Sorry, I watched the solo red carpet last Monday and was trying to keep things straight.
Yeah. No, this is not Dave Filoni, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a Star Wars name.
That name's ringing some bells.
Yeah, so he's going to produce it. He said that the idea for Star Wars Resistance came out of my interest in World War II aircraft and fighter pilots. My grandfather was a pilot, and my uncle flew and restored planes, so that's been a big influence on me. There's a long history of high-speed racing in Star Wars, and I think we captured that sense of exciting style, which is something the entire team has been wanting to do for a long time.
Ooh, this should be cool.
So, stay tuned for that this fall. Which
If only starting this summer, I'll catch you up on Clone Wars.
more Star Wars toys and more BB-8 for everybody, which I'm not upset about at all.
Yeah, I just finished up Clone Wars not too long ago, and now I'm slowly making my way through Rebels.
Yeah, I feel like there's apparently like a proper way to watch Clone Wars.
I think you start movie first, and then I just kind of went in the order that Netflix has them after that.
Yeah.
Someone sent me a list. I'll see if I can find it.
It's Star Wars. Just watch it.
Well, I was gonna say, like, the movies themselves aren't even technically in order.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
it's
a free for all.
It should be too much of a surprise.
Yeah. It's a free for all. So, and if you,
oh my god.
Unless, I guess it just, if you just don't care about Deadpool at all, then that's fine. But I guess you really have to like not care about Deadpool at all. But even if you're not that big of a Deadpool fan, but you enjoy unique and thought out marketing.
If you like humor in general,
well, and you like good marketing for things. Whoever the people that are on the marketing team for Deadpool, I think have probably the best job on the entire planet, because they can come up with just the most. It's probably like an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway, where they just draw stuff out of a hat and make it work. And with Deadpool, you can. There was a thing today where I was watching a YouTube video, and they talk about, some of the stuff that's, going viral and that sort of thing. And he said, we've got Ryan Reynolds in South Korea singing Annie dressed as a unicorn. A phrase that starts with Ryan Reynolds promoting Deadpool, whatever comes after that, you just kind of go with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It really doesn't matter what comes after that, because really it's going to be awesome.
So, that being said, they have released a couple of things. The Deadpool apologizing to David Beckham. Which is pretty funny. Complete with mariachi band and tickets to the World Cup or something. Soccer, football, I don't know. But
that's the thing that they do in Europe.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So they've got a thing. But actually before that, they released a music video with Celine Dion and Deadpool doing like dance interpretation in high heels.
The high heels is that's what got me, because when I started watching this, and I was seeing people talk about this, and I'm like, okay, this is Celine Dion, how is this funny? And then I saw Deadpool, and I'm like,
yeah.
Because it starts out as a very beautiful song. I mean,
it's a very Celine Dion.
It's a great song. I like it.
Yeah,
me too.
But it's Deadpool in high heels doing interpretive dance.
Yes. And the ending, when he's like, Celine, we need this to be like a 7, and she goes, this voice goes up to 11.
Yeah.
Or only goes, whatever it was. Because he wanted her to not be as good, and she's like, no.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't Titanic.
I love the look she gives him when he says, this isn't Titanic.
Yes.
So yeah, Ryan Reynolds is out doing worldwide press for Deadpool because it gets released later this week, and just you can't. It's, oh my goodness, it's just one of those things. It's like Deadpool just can kind of do whatever, and people are like, yeah, okay, that's Deadpool. It works. It's Deadpool. That's all there is to it. It's Deadpool. That's all you can say to explain it away, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's hilarious.
Their publicity team and double it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're definitely earning their money.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So, kudos to the marketing team for Deadpool 2. Hopefully, any Deadpool that comes after this, after the Fox Disney acquisition occurs, that they will continue to let them with this type of marketing.
Yeah.
For,
like I said, Disney should bring back their Touchstone company, like, because that's
the distribution.
How they did it earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yeah. Oh my! I'm excited. I'm excited for Deadpool 2, especially after Infinity War. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be so nice to like laugh for like 2 hours instead of alternating between laughing and crying. So.
And ugly crying at that.
Yeah, exactly. So. Speaking of Infinity War, our last piece of news is it's made a crap ton of money. It broke. I know when we talked or did a review a couple episodes ago. At the time, just in its opening weekend, it had broken 6 different box office records. Since then, it has broken another record by reaching $1 billion globally in 10 days.
I think it was still number 1 at the box office this past weekend.
Yes, so
probably.
It's first in the domestic box office for the 3rd weekend in a row. It had the 2nd largest opening in China ever. It became the 8th largest domestic release of all time, 5th largest global release, and became the first superhero film to ever top $1 billion internationally.
Oh boy!
So So as of the end of Mother's Day weekend, which was this last weekend, it has grossed $547.8 million domestically. And it made $200 million in China alone. And it's 3 in China. I'm assuming this is they mean in China. Its 3-day performance in China has exceeded the lifetime runs of the first Avengers movie, Civil War, and Iron Man 3.
Oof,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It has made $1.059 billion internationally, topping the $946.4 million that Avengers: Age of Ultron made. It is just global release all time, and it'll probably go beyond that because it's only possibly it's at 1.6 billion. Behind Jurassic World at 1.67 billion. So, and considering I've seen it 5 times, I'd like to think that I've contributed that.
You probably have.
Yes,
significantly.
I was at the chiropractor today, and he's a big Marvel fan too. And he's like, "What'd you think of it?" And we were talking about it, and he was, I don't know exactly what we're talking about. Plot or whatever, and I said something like, "Well, I've seen it 5 times." Well, he asked me a question. He's like, "I know you're a big fan." He asked me some question. I said, "Well, I've seen it 5 times, so I think I know." He's like, 5? I'm like, "Yep, 5 times." So, I might go for 6 just so that I can say I've seen it once for every Infinity Stone.
Yes. I'd like my gauntlet, please.
Yes. It's like if I see it a 6th time, will I get a gauntlet? Can I fix the things that happen? in the movie. But yeah, so a lot of money, which is not surprising. I mean, I saw it, like I said, I've seen it 5 times. I saw it again for the 5th time yesterday. Chauncey wanted to see it again, or at least that's the excuse I'm using. He legitimately did want to see it again, though, because he's only seen it once back when we saw it the first night, and he ended up having to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of it, so there were parts of it that he hadn't even seen. Almost 3 weeks in. So he's like, yeah, let's go see it again. So we went and saw it, and on a Sunday afternoon, even though it was Mother's Day, and you would think a lot of people were out spending time with their mothers, and it was also graduation weekend for like a lot of universities and stuff, that people would be busy doing family things, but we had a decent crowd, and there were multiple screenings at the theater we went to, and Black Panther is still in theaters.
Yep.
Where I live. Which is crazy. It's also out on DVD. You can go see Black Panther at home and then go into the theaters and see it.
Yep. I saw it on available on the iTunes store.
Yeah.
On my Apple TV.
Yeah. The fact that there's 2 Marvel movies in the theater at the moment, and one of them is still in theaters and has been there since February, is out on home release, but still in the movie theater, because it's like 8th still in the box office. That is ridiculous. I mean, I'm not complaining,
but in a good way,
by any means,
very good way.
but it's ridiculous just how well Marvel is doing, and oh my goodness, it's such a good time to be a Marvel fan right now. Take that, stick it in your pipe, and smoke it, DC. So, but yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if Infinity War can hold its first place, or if Deadpool will knock it out of first. So, because the first Deadpool broke a lot of records. This one might as well, but the fact that it's a R-rated movie, it'll be slightly different records in some cases. So, because some of the records that the first one broke is it broke this record for an R-rated movie, as opposed to it broke this record for a superhero movie or comic book based movie. So there'll be some overlap, but because they are different ratings, there are different records that can be broken for Deadpool 2. Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's a little Star Wars movie that comes out next week. So, which we'll see what happens. So I don't expect Solo to blow up. The reviews have mostly been favorable from what I've seen, because I had the premiere, so people are starting to see it. And what reviews I've seen, it's been mostly favorable. It's not anything amazing, but it's Star Wars, so we'll see. We'll go see it. For sure, because it's still Star Wars. That, and I'm really excited to see Donald Glover's Lando. So.
He looks amazing.
What does it say that I'm more excited for Lando than Han Solo?
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? Who knows?
We'll find out, I guess.
We'll find out next week when it gets released. So, but that's it for news. That's all we got.
It's a lot of news, and also not at the same time. I don't know. It seemed a little shorter than our usual news.
Yeah, well, even if we had done news, there wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
So.
But still, it's kind of nice to do these every once in a while.
Yeah.
Especially just talk about our random happy things.
So.
And If any of our listeners have any news that they would like to share, or if they'd like to discuss the news that we talked about here, you can send us feedback. And you can do that by sending us an email to fiveishfangirls@gmail.com. You can also contact us through our website and all of our social media links. Our website is the5ishfangirls.com, and links to our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all those great places where you can comment and interact with us there. Links to that are on our website. You can also support us through our Patreon account, our Amazon store, and we have T-shirts in our shirt shop.
Mm-hmm.
So, and thank you all for listening and supporting us, whether by sending us feedback or money or just listening, because listening, it's kind of fun to think people are listening to us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you're enjoying it. Because we're enjoying making it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, and we will be back next week with our normal format, I think, hopefully, barring any catastrophes that require our attention, I guess.
Knock on wood, quick.
Knock on wood. Absolutely. And
Yep.
we'll be back next week with finales.
Yes. Hopefully
Season-
I won't have to be scraped off the floor
Yeah.
when I leave the theater tomorrow night.
season finale, thankfully, of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and series finale of Once Upon a Time. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll be back with our reviews of the finales and the seasons.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
assuming we're alive.
Yes. We'll let you know how things go
Yeah.
through Facebook if you need to be informed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chauncey knows how to unlock my phone. He can get on Facebook and post something if we're all dead. So hopefully not. There's a lot of
Yes.
feels. I just have a feeling there's going to be a lot of feels. Good, bad,
Mhm.
and indifferent.
Mhm.
Or ugly.
Yeah.
So. All right. So, with that, we shall sign off for this week.
This is Brittany and Bethlehem saying goodnight.
This is Chrissy saying goodnight from Salt Lake City.
This is Sally from Wisconsin saying good evening.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. I need to practice my tea drinking with my pinky high in the air for the wedding on Saturday. And get out my fancy hat. You have been listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. You can find more episodes and information at the5ishfangirls.com. Any and all books, movies, games, and other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by their respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied. If you'd like to support the show, the best and easiest way is to leave us a rating and review on iTunes. More ratings and reviews will make it easier for others to find the show. If you wish to support us monetarily, you can do so at Patreon at patreon.com/5ishfangirlspodcast. All money goes towards fees and equipment to help keep the show going. For official Five-ish Fangirls merchandise, visit mymerch.us. We love hearing from our listeners and encourage feedback. You can email us at fiveishfangirls@gmail.com. You can also like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/fiveishfangirls. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you all on the next episode.